Hi there, my name is Caitlin, and today you're about to venture through a very special journey of mine. Some may consider this a small hobby or a quiet pastime, but to me, this is a talent that I hold very close to my heart: baking. As once stated by Marilyn Monroe, a career is formed in public, whereas a talent is created in privacy. And once stated by Gwen Stefani, a very well-known singer, she said, "It was such a turning point that I found I had a talent and that I had something to contribute to somewhere." So come along as we travel back to the time I held my first ever whisk and mixing bowl. Well, first, let's talk about how I discovered the art of baking. I considered myself quite the foodie growing up, and I have this vivid memory of when I was 8 years old standing beside my mom at the kitchen stove. My eyes glued to the pot she was mixing, my fingers sneaking the bits of food into my mouth, and the assaulting smell of soy sauce. I loved watching my mother in the kitchen because she always told me that the reason she cooked was not to fill the growling stomachs of her loved ones, but to feel the love and joy that she was rewarded with afterwards. I too wanted to experience this overload of happiness, and knowing that it was a creation of mine that was responsible for their satisfied sighs and content smiles. It was then that I declared my love for my peers would come in the form of food, that I put my time, effort, and love into it. Here is the start of my baking journey. COVID-19 had the entire world shut down for what felt like eternities, and in this isolation I sought comfort in food, which wasn't hard given the short distance from my bedroom to the pantry. The Christmas of 2019 had just passed, and I was gifted a stand mixer. Every little girl's dream, right? Not quite. Along with everything else in life, trial and error follows you through many stages of your life, and this is evident in my baking. Starting with easy recipes like cookies and brownies was even hard for a beginner. And here you can see the beautiful chaos behind baking. Burnt cookies, burnt pies, unpresentable food. A lesson learned is that first tries never end perfectly, and progress is what's important. Throughout the years, I found time to acquaint myself with the kitchen and stay calm when something didn't go my way. With these tactics in mind, I bettered my foot traffic in the kitchen, and I didn't give up when the consistency of the dough wasn't up to my expectations. I knew I had to follow through and learn my lessons along the way. Today, I can gladly say I persevered through the burnt cookies and raw brownie batter. From baking traditional Chinese bakery to cakes and extravagant panna cottas, I managed to attack the challenges that came along with baking. So please take the next few minutes and enjoy with your eyes. Cream puffs will always hold a special place in my heart. When I started baking them at 11 years old, they were small, fragile, tasted a little like egg, and they did not look as pristine as I wanted them to look. From this point on, you can see the progression I made as I researched choux pastries and whipped cream and how to drizzle chocolate. Today, I can proudly say that I've developed and created my own cream puff recipe that I will continue to use in the future. Some of my greatest accomplishments is creating my own small business called Kate's Confectionery and catering multiple events in Houston, starting off with Castle Biosciences. I manned a little station of desserts, and I also had my cream puffs there, which were the best seller, and mini mango panna cottas. But ultimately, my heart's desire is to bake for my family and my friends, and just to see how happy they get when they see these delicious creations. I baked this cake for my teacher's birthday, and I baked with my grandpa in England when I visited 2 years ago. And those are the Chinese desserts that I love making so much. And I love baking so much that I got a job at Nothing Bun Cakes as a froster, and I ultimately love it. So remember, if there's a whisk, there's a way, because life is what you bake it to be.